Thank God Amy Schumer is out there defending her right to exist. Everybody was like, please, you can't exist. I mean, they were saying that. But not because she's Jewish, but because she's incredibly annoying and just a hack in general. People are just completely oblivious to how this works, okay? Canary Mission, true words from Amy Schumer, a litmus test for anti-Semitism. If you scream genocide, but we're silent about the massacre October 7th, you might hate Jews. If you call for a ceasefire, but not release of the hostages, you might hate Jews. What do you think a ceasefire is for? Like, do you think people are just saying, like, hey, please cease the fire in Gaza, but also let Hamas keep the hostages? Like, who's saying that? Hey, guys, I have this interesting position where on the one hand, I think that Israel should cease its bombing campaign that's killing Palestinians, but I also think that the Palestinians should keep the hostages. Like, who's saying that? An in-law is recently retired police, and I cannot tell you how many during conversations start with not to be racist, but followed by Islamophobic shit. Oh, yeah. It's just like shadow boxing, dude. Ultra-Zionists fucking shadow box with demons that they've created in their fucking minds. You know what I mean? If you oppose Israel's right to defend itself, but say nothing of Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, and Syria's continuous rocket launches towards the civilian population of Israel, you might hate Jews. Wait, what? If you oppose Israel's right to defend itself, but you also I'm sorry. So again, I don't think anybody's saying like Israel has no right to defend itself. I think Israel can't say that it's defending itself while doing ethnic cleansing. But can't you flip this and be like, yeah, like Lebanon has a right to defend itself, or Palestinians have a right to defend themselves, and Hamas is one expression of said self-defense against an apartheid state? Because like a lot of this falls apart when you recognize, when the recognition comes for Israel being an apartheid state that is engaging in acts of settler terrorism and an ongoing ethnic displacement campaign. If you support Israel bombing Palestinian children, you are anti-Semitic. It's a wild ass take. Yeah, you have to say. You think Israel has a right to self-defense? It depends. Of course, it makes sense. You know, you simply cannot turn around and use that as a reason to do fucking genocide. Though it's crazy. That's not self-defense. Not. An occupier has no right to defend an occupation. It's simple. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that, like, I'm going to sit here and be like, no, Israelis have to sit there. There can be no court structure, no police structure, no military structure whatsoever. It's just that you can't use it against those who you are colonizing and those who you have subjugated under an apartheid condition. You can't do that, you know? Anyway. If you spoke out against Israel's tragic bombing of the hospital in Gaza, but made no contraction once you learned that it was actually done by Islamic Jihad, you might hate Jews. Yeah, totally. If you use inflammatory language regarding Israel, no matter how flawed their government, but use measured and apologetic terminology around Hamas, a terrorist organization with whose charter clearly states their intent to kill Jews, you might hate Jews. If you chant decolonize, but fail to condemn the chanting of gas the Jews at rallies in city streets and universities worldwide, you might hate Jews. Yeah. This is what is happening everywhere. Everyone is saying that. That's what's going on. If you're pained by the tragic loss of Palestinian life, as we all are, I don't think Amy Schumer is pained by the tragic loss of Palestinian life. She has made no such attempts at making anybody feel that. Amy realizes no one hates her for being a Jew, right? No, I think it's I think for Amy Schumer, she doesn't realize that people have hated her for a very long time, and it has nothing to do with her being Jewish and everything to do with her being a fucking hack, an unfunny, untalented, joke-stealing hack who is just screaming from the rooftops about how Israel should have a right to eviscerate as many babies as it wants to, because if that doesn't happen, Hamas is going to come and kill her in her apartment or something. Just, it's hard. It's hard to maintain the presence of being this like supposed progressive liberal while also simultaneously defend an, ongoing ethnic cleansing campaign. It's hard. You can't have both. So you have to constantly live in this like weird limbo where you have to justify it. You have to self-justify it. Okay? This is also playing into the part of making Zionism equals Judaism, which is exactly what Zionists want. Yes. Anyway. if you keep quiet at the top of the hour and don't tell people that they can avoid the top of the hour ad break by subscribing, you might hate those who are unsubscribed and are new to the broadcast. Do not keep quiet at the top of the hour. You can avoid it by subscribing for $5 or for free with Twitch Prime or by getting gifted a sub. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. This is just Zionist grievance, Mad Libs. If you, but not, then you're anti-Semitic. Yeah. If you're pained by the tragic loss of Palestinian life, as we all are, which she's not, let's be real, but take no responsibility for being complicit in the spreading of rhetoric that equals pre-Holocaust propaganda, you might hate Jews. Bro, what do you... Pre-Holocaust propaganda? What the fuck are we talking about? Saying exactly what Israel is doing is not blood libel. It's not pre-Holocaust propaganda. It's just saying exactly what Israel is doing. It also has nothing to do with Jews all around the world. We, the Jewish people, should have been given space to mourn, but instead have had to use all of our energy to defend not only our right to grieve, but to exist. Oh my God, thank God Amy Schumer is out there defending her right to exist. Everybody was like, please, you can't exist. I mean, they were saying that, but not because she's Jewish, but because she's like incredibly fucking annoying and just a hack in general. So glad how we and many people saw that libs actually don't differ from chuz that much. I mean, we have known that for a while, but it doesn't fucking matter because, like, there are a lot of liberals. I think people forget that, like, a lot of liberals don't see this. There is definitely an age difference. Like, if you look at 18 to 35, opinions are very different about going to war with Iran, but every other demographic plus 35 is majority support for going to war to defend Israel. Like, think about that. And if you disagree with this statement, you might hate Jews. Yeah. Abusers playing the victim once again. By the way, you look good in green. Thank you. Yeah, she reposted Brett Gelman. It's just like, this is, first of all, nothing she mentioned has anything to do with Jewish people, especially when you consider that the leaders of the anti-Israel anti-Israeli apartheid movement are Jewish organizations like Jewish Voice for Peace, Jewish organizations like If Not Now. So the idea that it's like, the anti-Zionism is just like anti-Semitic is really fucking stupid. The abuser Amy Schumer says no abuse is being done to Palestinians. Yeah. You know what's insane? That here in Poland, people defend Israeli atrocities all the same as if we aren't harboring 2 to 3 million refugees from the Ukraine war happening literally kilometers off the border. Yeah, but those guys kind of look similar to Polish people. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, in the minds of people, they legitimately don't understand that, like, Palestinians and Israelis kind of also look the same. If you think Palestinians are fucking brown, then so are Israelis. You know what I mean? But they think like, well, Israelis are white. They're different. What? They're not. Technically, they're not. They look fucking identical, of course. Israel's trying to fix that. I mean, they can't. Like, no amount of sterilization campaigns on Ethiopian Jews is actually going to do that. I just listened to your third Fear and Malding episode on Israel from 2021, and your views have been identical. I respect that so much. Episode name is Hetero Gay Marriage. Nice. I mean, there are... I've been talking about this for years. There's like videos out there from 2018 where I talk about it. I've always been consistently the only opinion that I've changed is like I used to think that a 2-state solution was possible, and then I realized very quickly that it was not. That it was simply a lie told by the Israeli government to continue stealing more land on the West Bank. Fear and Malding used to be political, yes. Aren't there 0 people who call for a ceasefire but not a release of the hostages? No, me. I'm the only one. That's me. I'm the only guy who's like, actually, no. The Israeli hostages have to stay with Hamas. I want a ceasefire, but also I think that the hostages should stay because like they'll have a super chill time or something. Yeah, the IG account Eye on Palestine has been removed from Instagram. The Eye on Palestine account is being reviewed by policy team at Meta right now. It's insane that they even took down the largest Palestinian account at a time when it is an absolute must to show Palestinian voices, to show what's happening in Gaza, when it is so difficult to get information out of Gaza by design. The fact that Meta would go along with this mass suppression of information campaign is, of course, not shocking to me, but it is still deeply frustrating nonetheless. Anyway, there was another thing that I wanted to show you about like suppression. And I also will tie this back to a misinformation campaign that has existed for quite some time. LinkedIn issues warning to site shaming pro-Palestinian sentiment. The site listed thousands of people and grouped them by their workplaces after they posted on the Israeli-Hamas conflict. Over the last 10 days, by the way, it's not even Israeli-Hamas conflict. Like, come on, man. It's Israeli-Palestinian. Just say that. If you're not going to say Israel's ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, just say Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Because the people that are being killed are not Hamas. The people that are being killed are Israeli. The people that are being killed are Palestinian children. Okay? It's ridiculous. Everybody always says it's like, oh, it's a conflict, which in and of itself is ridiculous to begin with. But it's not a war, and it's not also Israel versus Hamas. That is what IDF says it is, but it's not the case. Scotland's first minister is of Palestinian descent, and his family are in Gaza right now. Yeah, I heard. Anyway. Let's continue. Online posts asking the hashtag pray for Palestine entreaties for peace, please to free Gaza. Over the last 10 days, a website called AntiIsraelEmployees.com published more than 17,000 posts, which one of the people behind the site has said been taken primarily from LinkedIn. The site, which claimed to be a global live feed of potentially supportive sentiment for terrorism among company employees, listed thousands of people and grouped them by their workplaces in an apparent attempt to shame them from their sentiments on the Israeli-Hamas conflict, which is, again, they're complicit. Western media is complicit when they fucking do this. This is McCarthyism. Okay, this is Red Scare shit. Okay? Now, there is another website that I was looking at before. That like showed all of the New York politicians that have said things that is pro-Hamas according to this like the Solidarity OS something. What is it? I need to find it. Do chatters know what I'm talking about? Like it's not the Canary Mission. It's like a Solidarity Coalition or something. That's what it's called. No, it's not. It's not Stop Anti-Semitism either. Not to run defense for Western media, but the objectivity neutrality standard is so strong that I wonder if they literally ever refer to an act of genocide as genocide contemporaneously. They might be applying a fucked up consistent standard using cagey terms like this. I think so. Yeah. Also, wouldn't all the efforts to suppress people for their beliefs or values serve to radicalize some of them? Sure, but it doesn't matter because the goal is to get the broader majority on board by actively suppressing information from one side and bullying anyone who actually even defends said position and making it seem like anyone that even defends the dignity and humanity of Palestinians is actually a supporter of the genocide of all Jews. This is done deliberately in an effort to stop any kind of conversation dead in its tracks because nobody wants to be fucking called a supporter of terrorism. Everybody knows that terrorism is bad, okay? So you're not wrong. It's depraved. It hurts Palestinians. It hurts everyone. Fuck, I need to find this goddamn website. It was like OSNC or something. OSN, no, not like Hamas Israel. Let's see if I can find it. Anyway, can you respond to this bullshit article someone shared with me? Calling Israel's actions genocide harms the cause of human rights everywhere. Brother, this is from Forward. Okay, Forward and Tablet are not serious outlets. When I want to fucking hear the perspective of what people think in the Israeli left or you know, Forward is not as bad as Tablet, I'll admit. Is this it? Voice of OC official statements on Israel-Hamas war raise concerns. Wait, is this it? No, this is Orange County. It's not that. Whatever. I can't find it had the word solidarity in it. And it's like all New York politicians that they say have been quiet on the atrocities Israel faced in New York. And then also on top of that, the reason why I wanted to show you that was specifically because it's so silly. Like what they consider to be unjustifiable. OSINT on Twitter? No, it's not. Shut the fuck up. It's not OSINT, dude. What are you talking about? OSINT is open source intelligence. What are you saying? Anyway, let's just move on. Let's just fucking move on. Maybe we'll find it one day, but probably not. United agents has said that its head of comedy is now being investigated, apparently for retweeting this post, among others. Check out the Oscar-nominated writer who flagged her hateful tweets and the nice thing he has to say about Palestinians and Muslims. I'm an Oscar-nominated writer who got there without an agent. Yes, that's a flex. So I don't give a fuck about deferring to agents. No one will stop me making a living. I'll drive a cab if needed. So let me tell you about the disgrace of Kitty Lang, head of comedy at United Agents. Kitty, who represents acts like Catherine Ryan, Nick Mohammed, Jamie Demetrio at United Agents, has been on a wicked spree sharing hateful crap, promoting mockery of Jews, murder and terror attacks, and conspiracies that currently Islamists and neo-Nazis are spreading online. See below. Palestinian vision of a one-state solution. Palestinians walk down the street to murder their Jewish neighbors. Palestinian vision of a two-state solution. Palestinians have to get a bus to go murder their Jewish neighbors. Nice. This guy seems very unbiased. People are a bit harsh saying all the Palestinians have invented are plane hijacking, suicide bombings, and mass stabbings. They've also invented a time machine because they're clearly living in the Middle Ages with their rape and pillage barbarian shtick. Wow. Palestinians have successfully created a taboo around speaking negatively of them. Let me break that taboo for you. Famously. Yeah. There's a big taboo of saying Palestinians are fucking barbarian rapist monsters who behead thousands of children and want to fucking do the Holocaust everywhere, all around the world, permanently. Like, that's the fucking common narrative. What are you talking about? That's literally what people say, like, and have been saying even before October 7th and certainly after. Just say slurs, dog. We get it. Palestinian society is phenomenally toxic and racist society full of Islamic fundamentalist terrorists and their sympathizers who share candy when butchery occurs. Yeah, LinkedIn issues warning to cite shaming pro-Palestinian sentiment. I saw the list. If you want to be a fucking, if you want to see the laughable list that they've compiled of like people who have apparently supported Hamas, okay? If you're confused about which side to be on, there's a global, multiracial, multi-faith, popular movement for justice and solidarity in Palestine. So United Agents said that its head of comedy is now being investigated, okay? This guy is not being investigated. Vigil in New York for the Palestinian hospital that Israel didn't fire or destroy. Tomorrow there'll be a vigil for Sweet Tony, the son of Bigfoot, and a unicorn. Urgent. Copies of Mein Kampf running out in Gaza. If you're a neo-Nazi or white supremacist with a copy of Hitler's tome, Hamas need it more. They worked hard to toxify Palestinian society with Jew hate, but war was hindered. Show your solidarity with fellow genocide seekers. The UN is right. The atrocities of Hamas didn't happen in a vacuum. They're the product of a reactionary Muslims who romanticize ancient sectarian bloodshed. Anti-Semitism is taught in Palestinian society. Money we give, Hamas take. NGOs, politicians, fools who indulge and encourage this. These are incredibly common sentiments expressed by conservative ultra-Zionists. 100%. It's unhinged, unfiltered, pure, unadulterated racism. But because the direction is Palestinians for said racism, it is completely allowed in the Western world. Please go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and fucking tell me that this is not allowed. The cause of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is Muslim anti-Semitism, the sole cause of the conflict. Yeah, totally. Root of the conflict, anti-Semitism and the aspiration of Muslim supremacy in the region, refused to accept minority groups such as Jews having freedom and autonomy. Major industry publications ran the story. None bothered to check the Twitter feed of the Oscar-nominated writer involved. Is it fair that someone like this can throw a tantrum and get people silenced for opposing an apartheid state and genocide? So what did Kitty Lang say? The top UK comedy agent Kitty Lang deleted posts after they were flagged by Oscar-nominated screenwriter Lee Kern. What was it? Like, what did she even say that people were fucking losing their minds over? Comedy podcast fans know Brett Gelman. He's been weird for a while, and now is full-blown. Yeah, I know. I've seen it. Everyone has lost their fucking minds. I like this post already. This is what Brett Gelman was saying.
Hey, fake woke Americans. Guess who actually lives on stolen land? You do. Guess who actually lives on stolen land? You do. You do.
What? This motherfucker's acting like he's dialing in from like the West Bank or something. She retweeted the first post.
You do. Me Jew, you do. Me Jew, you do. You live on stolen land.
So sick. Brett Gelman and two others. Colonizers is the new rats. Apartheid is the new they control the banks. Genocide is the new blood libel. Like, no, apartheid is just apartheid, okay? And genocide is just genocide. It's not the new blood libel, okay? Like, it's so awesome to just have this position and be completely oblivious to, like, Jewish, Israeli, Holocaust historians, okay? Being like, no, this is an apartheid, this is a genocide. It's like, how do you say this without fucking feeling a sense of embarrassment? You know what I mean? It's just so fucking crazy. Friends with Tim Heidecker, by the way. I mean, I don't know for how long, but true words from Amy Schumer from the Canary Mission, a litmus test for anti-Semitism. Literally every one of these Zionists is friends with a MAGA guy with a Hitler did nothing wrong t-shirt. No, I don't think so. I think no. The Kitty Lang tweets from that unhinged guy. I'm going to ask him. I feel like somehow the word settler has lost its meaning and it can be understood as civilian. Maybe a new phrase is needed, like settler paramilitary. Wait, what? Y'all were excited to repost the fake beheaded babies, but these real babies now have mere hours left. That's why these are the posts. If you're confused about which side to be on, there's a global, multiracial, multi-faith, popular movement for justice and solidarity with Palestine. There isn't one for Israel. Signs is an airstrike. Size of the explosion. AV evidence corresponding with JDAM strike signature. Israel saying the hospitals were fair game. Previous Israeli attacks on this building. Almost all governments blaming Israel. Sign it was a Hamas rocket. Israel said so. That's it? That's the reason why this person is being investigated? Yeah. Israeli Holocaust scholar Raz Sagal decries Israel's assault on Gaza as a textbook case for genocide. But hey, guys, but listen. The fuck does he know? He's an Israeli Holocaust scholar. I don't get my information on the Holocaust from Holocaust scholars. I get it from Brett Gelman, who's like the 8th funniest guy on the shittiest fucking TV show you've never heard of. That's who I go to for my formative, to inform my opinion on what is and what isn't a fucking Holocaust. Or what is and what isn't a fucking genocide. That's who I go to. I go to that guy. I go to Amy Schumer. She knows better. I love going to the fucking comedy bench warmers. Awesome. You know who I go to? I go to Richie Torres, the poorest district in America. Yeah. I should learn everything about the Holocaust, everything that I read, and everything that like I know about genocide and how it's conducted, and ethnic cleansing and how it's conducted from the likes of Bibi Netanyahu, who are also Holocaust revisionists themselves. You know, that's who I get it from. I get it from the absolute freaks. I trust the least funny writer for Borat 2 for all my news. Yeah. Tearing down the hostage flyers is the new Kristallnacht. The Hamas charter is the new Mein Kampf. Shows the proof of beheaded babies. The new Holocaust didn't happen. Which is ironic to say this because you're literally saying you're actively doing genocide denial. So is the Jews run the world bullshit actually true? Are you fucking stupid? No, dumbass. There is no Jews run the world shit at all. Don't try to fucking come in here and sneak idiotic fucking Nazi sentiment, okay? Get the fuck out of here. Suck my cock. Jewish people are not a monolith. Jewish people do not unconditionally support Israel, no matter how hard Israel tries to claim that that is the case, and no matter how hard Israel tries to make that a reality through active brainwashing campaigns, okay, of young American Jews through through the schooling system and through birthright and numerous other ways of like fucking instilling fear upon Jewish people not living in Israel. But that is not the case, okay? Despite Israel's best efforts, it is ridiculous and also anti-Semitic to make the assertion that Zionism is the position and unconditional support to Israel is the position of Jews all around the world. It is fucking ridiculous. It's not even the position of Jews in Israel. Not all Jews in Israel. One of the tweets used to smear them as an anti-Semite was literally from a Jewish man, Noah, criticizing Israel. Yeah, that's why you see so many non-Jews like Richie Torres literally attack Jews that are at the forefront of the anti-apartheid activism in America. The audacity, the gall of the supporters of Israel's genocidal regime is so shocking to me. Like, these people are so fucking horny to be like, listen, I love Israel, which means I can tell you that you're a bad Jew. You're not a real Jew. It's like, are you fucking stupid? Are you out of your mind? The guy you just banned trying to say shit like that, he has a registered account on a certain site for gore posting. Actual sick human being. Oh, Jesus. Genuine question, is it okay to rephrase Zionists control the world? No, dude. They do not control the fucking world, dumbass. No. You can't just like substitute Jew for Zionist and be like, do they control the world? No. What do you mean they control the world? What the fuck are you talking about? America is right there. What do you mean? Oh, Jews control the world. Zionists control the world. America is right here, idiot. The fuck are you talking about? Israel can't do shit without our fucking go-ahead and our approval, our express approval. Let's not play dumb, Hasan. I'm gonna keep it a $1.50. We purge a lot of the fucking idiots in this community regularly. If you don't understand this position, you fundamentally are at odds with the way I see the world. Okay? I talked about this already. If you are an opportunistic 4chan loser that comes in here to be like, but you know, the Jews, right? Am I right? You're a fucking dumbass. Okay? Most of my primary sources come from on the ground, literal, like Israeli Jewish activists. Okay? Israeli Holocaust historians. Historians in general that are Jewish. It's fucking ridiculous. I covered this a couple days ago, okay? Where I saw like unfiltered, pure anti-Semitic garbage on the timeline. Just straight up classic, like, look at these Jews in positions of power shit, okay? I've seen it a time and time again. I saw it with Kanye West posting that Excel spreadsheet of people who 4chan groypers suspect of being Jewish, and also other Jewish people in high positions of media or in American government. America's interests in Israel are to have a forward operating base or a aircraft carrier that is unsinkable in a resource-rich region full of foreign adversaries. Americans openly admit that their goal in Israel is one that aligns with their national security concerns. They like having it's like having a fucking American state with its own intelligence community in the smack dab in the fucking middle of this resource-rich region that can be destabilized with the American state. It's a command post. Super lib sits in front of 30K viewers with life experience. Me? Are you calling me a super liberal? Which one is it? Am I a fucking tanky who's like pro-Hamas, or am I a super lib? Lib? Daughter of Israeli Zionist speaks out. Here's a good take from a pro-Palestine Israeli woman. Oh yeah, this is really good as well. We'll talk about this in a second. I watched this video before. I'm sure it doesn't hurt that they buy a shitload of weapons and aircraft from Lockheed & Co. Exactly. You're whatever gets the most people mad at you at any given time. True. My hypothesis is we don't appreciate what kind of barrage of they want us dead news headlines Jewish people inside and outside of Israel have been subjected to, with Hamas attacks and criticism of IDF bombings, pushing them over the edge maybe. Yeah, but like, I'm sorry, you have to have a little bit of fucking moral clarity. If you can't demonstrate the moral clarity of a person who was literally in the fucking kibbutz, who watched their immediate family members get fucking murdered in the hands of Hamas militants, and then you can't be like that person, okay? You can't demonstrate that kind of moral clarity. I don't know what the expectation is. Like, oh, I'm sorry that you fucking think that Hamas is going to come and kill you in your Kansas grocery store. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, yeah, let me put on hold the fucking active genocide that's occurring currently in Gaza. Anyway, sorry. I love Gaza, but we got to stop killing, man. We want freedom. It's not that bad. Rate my takes. It's on. Hopefully have a good day, man. Thanks, chatter. Okay. Yeah. This is also fucking gross, too. Israeli soldiers capture suspected Hamas fighters and make them hold the Israeli flag and chant "Long live Israel." By the way, these are just civilian workers who were arrested by the Israeli forces who just said they were Hamas fighters. By the way, Israel has gone nutty with it in a way that I think resembles America's actions in both Afghanistan and Iraq. A lot of people forget that there are rules to war, right? There are rules to what you can and can't do with your fucking captives. This is not something you are allowed to do. I don't care how fucking racist you are. I don't care how violent you suspect the people that you intercepted, the people that you arrested are, okay? This is completely unacceptable, okay? It is a fucking war crime. This is like, we are nearing the Abu Ghraib bullshit right now. We are so close. I've read so many fucking accounts of Russian forces engaging in acts of torture on Ukrainians that they fucking apprehend, okay? To extract information out of them, or to even get like forced confessions out of them and shit. And it's so wild that we watch the exact same shit, if not significantly fucking worse, being done by Israel. Not even just this. It is so psychotic that this kind of activity is championed, channeled, and defended. Anyway, did you see that some Israel lobby org put ceasefires anti-Semitism on signs in Times Square? It made me actually sick to my stomach. Yeah, it's so fucking unhinged. Oh, many stories from loved ones in Gaza. Israel has repeatedly blocked the marriage of another one of my cousins in Gaza and his longtime girlfriend, a U.S. citizen. Israel blocked every permanent application to leave Gaza to make it into his embassy appointment in Egypt for years. No freedom of movement, no dignity. They aren't hurting him, though. Dude, that's insane. Can you imagine apprehending someone that you just immediately say is a fucking terrorist and then making them making them hold the Israeli flag and shit? Like, what are you doing? Do a little bit of role reversal. Forget that they're fucking Arabs in your mind for a second and think maybe they're Jewish workers that the Nazis apprehended. The fuck do you mean? I don't think people understand. When you have someone in your, when you have robbed someone of their freedom, there are very specific rules. When you have detained someone, there are very specific rules. This person is now, you can't humiliate them. This person is your prisoner, okay? It is psychotic to look at this and go, well, they're not like beating the shit out of him. They're simply just like, you know, making fun of him and dehumanizing him further. You can't do that. If I ever get detained, I want to be detained by them law, says Shawarma Ghanem. Yeah, dude. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you wish to be a fucking Gazan worker on a worker's permit in Israel. Nice. What a psychotic take. Very few people on the planet would swap places in that regard. Actually, probably no one. I love this, dude. This is like hyper-nationalistic and psychopathic fascist sentiment being expressed so willingly on the timeline, and people don't recognize it. Why? Why do you not recognize that? I remember you saying that trans allies get similar vitriol to trans people when they advocate for the rights. I've had a similar experience. I'm Jewish. I like to post calling for Palestinian rights, and someone called me a Nazi collaborator. I can't imagine what Palestinians have to deal with. Solidarity to them. Yes. It's just like Biden holds joint news conference with the Australian Prime Minister and says Hamas does not represent the vast majority of Palestinians in Gaza. Yeah. I want to point out something here, okay? This is a really good fucking take from Felix. I've seen this. Okay, I've seen this post circulating on the timeline from a behavioral economist, founder of Coheal, and a few other companies helping people withdraw from prescription meds. Sarah Nadav says, I want to see the mass graves, the refrigerated trucks full of bodies or corpses rotting in the street. There is no way Gazas could cope with 5,000 dead bodies this quickly, especially since they claim lack of electricity and water. Where are the pictures? So far, there are almost 300 comments and not a single picture of a funeral or a grave. Okay? To which Felix pointed out, one of my favorite scenes in Band of Brothers is in Why We Fight, which is the best episode in Band of Brothers. For those of you who haven't watched Band of Brothers, great episode. It's very traumatic. It is a one-to-one identical. Like I've read a lot on the Holocaust. I've seen the many photos taken at the time from concentration camps. It is a one-to-one horrifying comparison, but it's very accurate, historically accurate, the Why We Fight episode, when they finally, for the first time ever, see a concentration camp and are completely oblivious to the horrors that unfold, that they don't even realize what is going on in said concentration camps. And there's a scene in Band of Brothers and Why We Fight when that dumbass baker is whining to Easy Company about how they're requisitioning his goods for the camp victims, and Webster sticks his 1911 in his mouth. So many Zionists are the baker. Shut up. I said, shut up, you Nazi fuck, says David Webster. Grabs the baker. The baker says, I'm not a Nazi. David Webster responds, oh, you're not a Nazi? My mistake, you fat fucking prick. What about a human being? Here, I'll just, you know what? I want to show you this. I'll show you the scene instead of reading it. Let's see if we can find it. Maybe they can. Oh, here it is. He smelled it. He smelled it every day. Toten Sie mich nicht. Bitte toten Sie nicht mich. Mich nicht. Please don't kill me. Ich verstehe nicht, was du da sagst. It is impossible. At a certain point, it is fucking impossible to turn a blind eye to the atrocities, dude. It's impossible. Okay? And for the record, I have seen the fucking photos, contrary to what this freak is saying here. Okay? If you haven't seen the photos, it's because you're not paying attention. For as many GoPro footage as there are for the October 7th operations, and there are some gruesome fucking images, 100%. This notion that like October 7th was a perfectly executed military operation is a falsehood. Okay? It's not true. It was gruesome. 100%. It was. But for as many October 7 footages there are that like journalists get to watch horrified behind closed doors at the behest of the Israeli government, there are thousands more lifeless children's bodies that have been recovered from the goddamn rubble. Just that no one is showing that. No one is aware of it. At this point, unrelated to the Gazan health ministry, like doctors and healthcare professionals in Gaza, every time they come out with a statement, they literally put the bodies right next to them. Yeah, I know. There's plenty of footage of mass graves. Gazans using ice cream trucks because the morgues are overfilled. And all of this is happening while Israel has deliberately shut off access. No electricity, no fuel, no internet. Internet is patchy inside of Gaza by design. So they can fucking control the narrative. Devastating. So cruel. It's so unusual. They have an excuse for every photo. It's not that they don't see it. They just don't care. Exactly.